Okay, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the part 2 of how to create a drop down menu. In our previous tutorial, we've learned how we can make a simple drop down menu. So for those of us that are just watching this video, and sorry to say, this is the part 2 of a video I have made already. So in case you really want to follow up on how to make, because in this video we're going to be making a sub drop down menu. So I urge you to watch the previous video before watching this, although I'm going to provide the link below. So what we're going to be making in the future is a sub drop down menu for each list. So we discover each list have their own respective drop down menu. So what we're going to be using is what we've used already in the previous tutorial. So we're just going to just crown the tutorial so we can understand the concept of how to make a drop down menu. So I'll go back to my text editor. Like for those that follow the previous tutorial, we've done this together. So what we need to do is just to add a sub drop down menu for each drop down list. So we're going to be creating another list, a list item, and also an anchor. Just the same thing we do for each navigation menu. So I'm going to be giving this a beginners, intermediate, and advanced. Just for you to know. Beginners, intermediate, and so we do the same thing for our CSS. You can edit it and do whatever you like, because because of time, so just making it faster. So you can save and just check what we've done already. Yeah, have I? Okay, now we have this error. So let's first fix this tooltip error that we have by giving a specific class to this first drop down list. So we assign this what is it called, the tooltip, to that container alone. So let's go back to our text editor. For the main container, which is the drop down, I think it has a class of drop. So let's specify, where did we create our drop down? Where is the before? It should be somewhere here. So instead of on ordered list, let's just give it as be specified. Let's specify the unordered list we're talking about, and let's check. Okay, I think no, we are having an error. That's because, okay, let's check. Is it really drop? No, it's not drop. It's not drop. We've not given it a class. Let's just give it a class of, let's give it a class of container. So I'm going to be targeting the container instead of the drop. Where is the drop? Container, and that should fix that. Okay, now the other thing we need to do is to okay, we shouldn't display it now. So we would have to give, like the previous tutorial, in order for us to make our drop down position absolute to our list item, we need to give that list item, which is the HTML position of relative, so it knows that okay, any content coming that has a position of absolute that is within me should come, should be within me. So let's just do that. I'm going to be using an inline style for the position relative, so that's just to fasten up the process. I'm just going to give it a style of position, let me just relative, and I'm going to copy this same thing because I'm going to be using it for all my list, for HTML, for CSS, for JavaScript, and also for PHP. Let's see what that does. It doesn't do much. So in order for us to, we want to make our drop down at the side of each list item. So in order to do that, we also need to target, I want to use a general rule because I don't want to start styling each sub drop down menu. So I want to give it a general rule. So for my CSS, I just go target my unordered list, the direct list, the direct unordered list, and the direct from, we have 3 unordered lists. So I'm now targeting the direct list item that also, I'm so sorry, that also have an unordered list. So I think it's complete now. We have just 3. So we want to give it a positioning of absolute. Okay, let's see what that does. Okay, still the same. So the other thing for us to do is, are we really targeting it? Okay, let's see if we're targeting it. Let's give it a background color of red. Okay, yeah. So what we need to do is, okay, we need to give it a top of 0, because we want it to begin as at when the relative positioning starts from. So we want to give it a top of 0. Let's see what that does. Okay, I think it's better now. So what we need to do also is to make it at the left hand side. So let me just say left 100%. So with that, it should come directly to the left. Well, I think the left, we should give it a little bit. Let's give it left of 105, maybe 105. Yes. Okay, 105. Let's see, 106. Just for it to fit. Let's say 107. Let's see what we got. Okay, I think it's better, but I want to change the background color to dark blue instead. So let's see dark blue. Okay, we now have our drop down menu. So the other thing we need to do is now to display it none, and to display it block whenever we hover over respective list item. So we see the display of none. So we want to target this. No, I think, is it this? Yeah, we want to target this. So whenever we hover over them, we want our unordered list to display as block. So the logic is basically straightforward. That is for those that follow our last tutorial. I think they did work. They did. Okay, we've done something wrong. Display none didn't work. Let me see. didn't work. Okay, what have I done wrong? Display. No. Something is wrong. Okay. Do we have? Okay. We have another list, the direct list that has another list, and the list that has, we want it to display now, which is not responding. Let me see. Display none. Okay, I would have to pause the video. So the reason for the error is that when we were targeting this drop down list, we said whenever we hover over it, we want the unordered list to display block, and truly whenever we hover over it display as block. So we need to specify the container we are talking about. So I'm saying our container, whenever we over it, we want it to display as block, and it should fix that error. Okay, the next thing we do is what we did the other time. We target our unordered list, we target the direct list, the unordered list, the direct list, and the unordered list that is on the right. I think this is where we over. I mean, it's first, second, this is the first, this is the second, then this is the list item with the third one. So whenever we over it, we want our another list to display as block. So let's see what it does. Okay. Oh, looking at the measurement, it's not that accurate. We have our sub drop down list on top of this. So let's just fix that. We can fix that by either giving the container, adding more to it, or we can just give it a margin left of about 30 pixels. Let's just see. Okay, it's too much. Let's see. 10. Okay, let's say 5. Okay, let's say 0. Okay, now we have a problem. So let's remove the margin left. Let's fix it by giving it a left of, let's see, 110. Is close enough. Let's give it 115. Okay, 116 should be better. Okay, it's too much. Let's give it 130. Okay, 130. Okay, so let's change the background color back to let's give it a background color of blue and dark blue, and on hover the color of this on that list. So we're changing it to dark blue, and we are saying on over, the list item, when we over them, we just need to change the background color to, what's the color? I think, yeah, this is the color. Okay, we have our fancy drop down menu. No, something is wrong. We are, once again, we need to specify over, okay, first, second, third, not you. We still have a direct on that list, and list, yeah, should work fine. So this is not the best way to make a drop down menu, or it's just to give you the idea of how you can make a drop down menu. So I think this is the end of the tutorial. If we want to make a sub drop down menu, we do the same process, doing the same thing, giving the list item a position of relative and absolute for the drop down container we are working with. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and drop your comments, for me to know where I'm lacking. And you can also request for videos that you think you want to be educated on. Thank you.